is not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. Now, this show is going to be a little bit different. To me, it means a lot because we're talking about the blind today. And my father was blind, so it corresponds with a whole lot of that with the lifestyle and the things that actually goes with it. And my guest today is somebody that's very special. This is her book, okay? And she's a blind Afro-American woman, and she's talking about some of her experiences as being a black woman, blind woman, I should say. And I give you Michele Beary. Hi, Michele.
Hi, good
How you doing?
afternoon. Good.
Okay. So what we're going
day
to
to
talk
everyone.
about is we like to tell the viewers where you're from.
I'm from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, to be exact. I was born in Kingston, but grew up in the country.
Okay. So let's talk about some of your experiences as a kid growing up and some of the things that you went through. So I'm sure that the viewers would actually like to know that.
Okay, I had life like mixture, sometime hard, sometime, a bit easy. But, I am from a family of 7 of us,
Right.
3 boys and 4 girls. Back in the days when I was small and growing in Kingston, my mom had challenges where she had was to send, at the time it was like 6 of us. So she had
Right.
was to send us to the country to live with our aunt.
Mhm.
And growing up in the country, it was, really, really rough. Struggles, a lot of struggles. I had what we sometimes, you know, for one, we had was to go to the stream to get water. And at that time in Jamaica, we
Mhm.
didn't have light per se, light where, like electricity. It was like lantern, they would call it. No, they call it now lantern, where we had was to use, if you're going to the shop in the night, you have to get that. It was buckle torch,
Right.
where you make that lamp with a bottle, and that was what we use back in Jamaica, growing in the country. And school was a must for us,
Mhm.
especially growing up in the country. And it was nice because at first, but for one, my aunt, over the period of time, she sometimes she didn't treat us good, but
Mhm.
we stood by, we worked it out until after my, because that's where I made the accident with my eyes.
Mhm.
And then my mom had was take me back in Kingston to live with her because of going to the hospital,
Right.
attending appointments and stuff like that, because hospital in the country were very far, where
Right.
they didn't have like children hospital in the country. None was in the country where I was, so
Mhm.
I had was to come to Kingston to get that care from the hospital, children hospital in Kingston.
So let me ask you a question. Due to the fact that you lost your sight, how was your relationship with your mother, and how was your socialism with other people?
Well, at first, with my mom, I can tell you, my mom was sometimes, I don't know if I should say she was um too protective. I think for now I realize that she was overprotective.
Right. Okay.
But where she did, when it happened, she didn't want me to get like, she didn't want me to socialize with people, especially she didn't want me to go to school, you understand,
Mhm.
because going to the blind school for her was like, it's like she felt like she was giving up her child to the
Right.
authorities. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason why that kept me out of school like for 6 years before, eventually I went to the Salvation Army School for the Blind in
Right.
Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, when I get the accident with my eyes, it happened when I was at like about 9.
Right.
And the time when I went to the Salvation Army School for the Blind, I was
Mm-hmm.
like 13 going 14. So, but in the meantime, I was at home learning to do house chores. I was there. I was the one who was, more responsible, even though I wasn't the oldest one. But
Mm-hmm.
I was the one who, when she's not there, who sort of kept that house together until she get back home.
So my question to you, how was your relationship with your brothers and sisters at the time?
It was good. It was good because even from it back then and even now, they tend to look up to me like I am the oldest one, because to tell you the truth, I'm the more level-headed one, responsible one,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody just my mom is not here and no longer, but everybody see me as that mother figure. Every decision that they're going to do, they have to, run it by me to see what is my opinion, and then they will go with my opinion.
Okay. So as far as your book is very, very epic. And it talks about a lot of things that you went through in life as far as being blind. But let's go back to your aunt that actually raised you. And do you have any idea why she treated everybody differently? I mean, due to the
Well,
fact of between her kids and your brothers and sisters?
Well, definitely, it's not. I was the only one that she treated. Me and my next 3 sisters, also a brother, 2 sisters, and also a brother. So she treat us different from how she treated her kids.
Right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We would have to like get up early in the morning, go to the stream to get the water, anything that she wanted, like she wanted to do outside. She would tend to like wake us up, or and for us to clean, us to do more house chores than her kids. And funny thing, like whenever time my mother would send things to her, she would like hide it, and her kids would get most of it, and then me and my 3 other siblings would like get the last of everything.
Dealing to the fact that it was quite a journey for you.
Mm-hmm.
I am very, very flattered to have you and talk to you, because it's very encouraging, because my father was also a blind, and it's a lot of history behind it. But before we talk about other things, we're going to take a little break right now, and we will be right back with Michele Beary.
Okay.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it! Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
A photo of Helen Keller, followed by rays of light seeping through holes in a black wall. Images of visually impaired people appear in yellow squares in front of the black. The squares mark the dates 1932, 1945, 1975, 1990, and 2010.
For almost 100 years, the American Foundation for the Blind has built on the legacy of Helen Keller.
by connecting people with vision loss to the outside world and fighting for those who fought for us, by giving a voice to those who need it, advocating for laws that help visually impaired people, and helping us communicate with the world in a whole new way. Helen would be proud of the breakthroughs made for generations of Americans with vision loss. As for tomorrow, let's shoot for the moon. To learn more, visit afb.org.
Hey, we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe, and we're talking with Michele Beary, and this is her book, A Blind Girl's Survival, and we're talking about her book and the things that she went through. So, Michele, I need to ask you, losing your sight, did it actually change your life a whole lot, or did it just made you feel a little bit more mentally sort of like, inferior?
I think, yes, it does, because, growing up, and at first I was among all the kids. I could play, I could do everything with the sighted kids until when I lost my sight. As a matter of fact, I know that it didn't. I wasn't totally blind at first. I lost sight in the left eye first, and over a period of time, just able to see out of one eye. It was really challenging, and especially, when I would go on the street and like kids would, like say things, say call me names. And it was really bad for me. It made me feel inferior.
Let's talk about some of the abuse that you went through during the part of you losing your sight. I think that is something that the viewers would actually like to know, because Michele did go through a few things, and I think that the viewers would actually like to know.
Yes, some of the things that they would do. I can tell you, some they call me one-eye Jack, some they call me fish eye, some they call me blindy, and sometimes they even like try to stone me. I remember like a couple of times I have a sister, and she would be the one who always come to my defense, especially when they're trying to stone me, they're trying to jeer me. You understand? So
right.
It was really a challenge. It was really a challenging situation that I had was to face, but in spite of that, I stood tall.
You talked about sexual abuse. I think that's something that was very cunning, that actually somebody would actually want to do that to a blind person.
Oh, yeah.
And how do you feel about that? And have you met closure with that as far as a person that can't see?
Okay, I know that, deep. Sometimes I don't think I really get the closure that I need, because sometimes even now I still like, from time to time go back having dreams about it, where, thanks be to God, I was like that fearful person growing up. I wouldn't, take anything from anybody, because that's one of the reasons why my stepfather, he didn't like me, because he realized that I wasn't the type of person that he could get over with. And then my mom, she was naive about, all of that, because she, but a lot of mother in, I don't know, Jamaica and all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the things that they tend to reluctant in believing when their child come and say, oh, your husband or your other half is trying to get with me. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I remember one evening, one day to be exact, I'm going to give you an example. Because he wanted was to, abuse me. He tried to send my sister and his daughter to the store. And I said, he didn't want me to go. And I said, I'm going. And I defied his order and went with them. When I came back, he tried to beat me. And I face the eye, I cursed him out. Mm-hmm. My mom, she came home, And she didn't listen to my story. She just, accept what he said. Oh, I didn't listen to him. And because of that, she gave me a first class beating, where right now I still have that mark on my thigh, where she beat me just because of he complained that I didn't listen to him and went to the shop with my siblings. You understand? So I, thanks be to God, I had that strong will in me to fight back, not physically, but anything. I try to use my mouth to argue my point out, to argue my way through anything. That's me.
Any words of encouragement for people that is actually can't see, that has lost their sights, that you can actually offer to them? Because when my father was blind, I would have to go through the attitudes and the things, and it was a lot of work to deal with him at that point, dealing, to the point that he did have sight, then he lost total sight, So give the viewers some type of encouragement,
One other thing that I will tell anybody. Listen, losing your sight is not the end of the world. You have to look at it. You have to say to yourself that, listen, God made this happen because he has another purpose here for me. And sometimes the purpose that God has for you, it's to put away something that you have, something that you cherish. You understand? So that you can build on the next thing that he wants you to build on. And that's what I am doing right now in my life. I know that he has me here for a purpose, and the purpose is sometimes to give advice, to give encouragement. And that's one of the reasons why I really wrote that book. Because I know my purpose was to my thing that I wanted was to do is go about and tell the story to anybody that I can, everybody that I can. But I sit and I say, something, let me do this book, because the book will sell all over the world. Notice where I put it. I put it on Amazon, where a lot of people, everybody want to go onto Amazon to get anything.
Well, Michele, it's been a pleasure having you on my show. I am very flattered. This is her book, everyone. You can pick it up on Amazon. You can reach her through her social media. And I believe that this book would actually change a lot of lives, because I read it and I was very, very inspired by it, And Michele, thank you so much, and stay tuned for another guest. Her name is Shawn Tyson, and she wants to share her strength, hope, and experiences. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're welcome.
A diagnosis does not define me.
A medical chart doesn't tell you who I am.
And vision loss doesn't determine our character.
It's our drive that shows who we are.
And we are here to let those challenged with blinding retinal diseases know that we are driven too.
To be a beacon of strength, a champion of courage,
an advocate for hope.
We can let them know that they are not alone.
Because together, we are stronger.
We drive the research for the cures we're finding.
We're fighting age-related macular degeneration,
Usher syndrome,
retinitis pigmentosa,
and the entire spectrum of blinding retinal diseases.
We fund.
We fight.
We win.
We
are
the foundation
fighting blindness. Together,
we are fighting blindness.
Join the fight at fightingblindness.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hey, we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And my next guest is Shawn Tyson. Now, she's very special, you guys, because she's also a talented musician, and that's epic, you know? So, Shawn,
Hello.
let's talk about your beginning of, you know, when you lost your sight.
I First of all, good afternoon to everyone who is listening around the world,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll try to make it simple. Okay.
Okay.
I lose my vision from I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
I was born premature, and in those days they didn't have like what they have now to detect people getting their sight back. So I was in the incubator, and I think it's something have to do with the oxygen or something why I stay like this with my sight.
Okay. So has it affected you in the sense of growing up with different people and not able to see and correspond with others?
I could glimpse a little for a little bit, but it didn't stay that much because they said when I went to the doctor in Jamaica, the one in Montego Bay,
Mm-hmm.
they told my mom that there's nothing can be done to my vision, so it just take time and, got that way so till I lose it.
Right. Do you have any siblings, brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have three brothers and two other sisters along with myself, make it six of us.
Okay. And how was your relationship with them growing up, due to the fact that you were visually impaired?
Well, my relationship was with all of them was very good, but I had one of my sister was very close to me. Her
Mm-hmm.
name is Pamela. She always been looking after me since I was a child.
Right.
Even growing up now, she still cares. She's very close to me.
Okay. So your acceptance, due to the fact that you actually visually impaired, how would you actually rate your spirituality as far as being a person that's dealing with your religion or your Christianity or things of that nature?
Well, I rate myself like very normal as anybody else or bubbly, And sometimes I have bad days and sometimes I have good days, but I'm still going through. I'm not going to let because of my vision stop me from doing anything. Just like what my friend says.
So what's really inspiring about you is you're a musician. You play keyboards, and let's talk about that.
Sure. Okay. How much I said? When I started playing the keyboard, it was in Jamaica. I used to sit around an organ at the school for the blind and self-taught myself to play it. And then after that, now I used to play and sing. And I remember one of the bigger girls in the dorm who used to look after us.
Mm-hmm.
She used to give whoever know the school hymn, of the school for the blind.
Right.
And back then, 5 cents was a lot of money. And she said, the first one who know it will get it. And I started singing it and so forth. And she gave me a 5 cent.
Okay.
Back in those days, because 5 cents could buy a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I self-taught myself, then I have music teachers start helping me, and then I just do my own thing. I haven't write any song or anything, but I'll sit around and make up melodies.
Mm-hmm.
I play by ear, listen to the radio and try to, pick out a song and try to play it or listen to it. And I just make it as simple as I can,
So what recording artist actually inspires you to, give you that energy, that flow? Everybody has a favorite, so can you just give one or a few?
Okay, I love Celine Dion, Whitney Houston, and from Jamaica, I love Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Dennis Brown, etc.
what I would like you to do is, you have any type of encouragement that you can give people that are visually impaired to encourage them to stay strong and, to keep that mindset of, that good thing about it,
The best I can tell them is stay strong, be courage. Don't let your vision or any type of disability stop you from do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Your dream is yours. You can go and excel your dreams anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you're blind or you have any disability, that doesn't say you can't do it. If I can do it and my friend Maxine can do it, you guys can do it too. All of us are here for each other. So all we can do is just encourage each other and try to help each other and go and expect your dreams.
So do you want to shout out to anyone right now?
I like to be a shout out to my family, my mom, my sister Pam, Rose, and Keith and Roy, and my niece and nephews. Where they are, I hope they are listening. And also to my friend right here, Maxine. She's my inspiration as well.
It's good because it seems like Maxine's everybody's inspiration. She's even mine,
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
due to the fact that when I read the book, it was I was very encouraged by it,
Yeah.
and like I said, my father was blind, and
right.
For him to actually, for a person that has sight to actually deal with that type of lifestyle, it can be a little bit difficult, but I adapted to it through the years.
Yeah.
But Shawn, I would like to thank you. I am so flattered that you are on my show to share your strength, hope, and experiences. And I hope that everybody that's actually watching this footage gets something out of it. People lose things, but gain other things as well. And this is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. And stay tuned for another episode. And see you guys later.
AFB, American Foundation for the Blind, registered trademark. Visually impaired children and adults interact with their peers at school and work.
The foundation we're built on is determination, creativity, independence, and the pursuit of happiness. We are the American Foundation for the Blind, changing the way the world sees blindness. Together, with you, there is nothing we can't do. To learn more, visit afb.org.
Expanding possibilities for people with vision loss. Text. This message was brought to you by Comcast NBC Universal.
You care for the house, the kids, and our future. My Shiro's Day is never done. So let's save a little more now so we can create the retirement we want. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need. Visit asiaretirement.org.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.